All right, here we go. So, thank you first and foremost, everybody, for being here. Welcome to Food for Your Soul with Aquarian Soul. This is the only show here on Tag that focuses on exploring nostalgia through conversation about comfort food. And I'm so blessed to have you guys here with me today. Like, first and foremost, I want to talk about my two guests here. Like, I have my cousin KK. You know what I'm saying? Big KK, not the little. She's been taking a break from the app for a while, but she's back here, to support me. She's trying to come back to the app. Also, I have Miss Divine. Like, I'm not gonna talk too much about Miss Divine because I want her to be able to plug herself properly because I'm too good at that too. But we're going to explore this topic here today. But first, I want to make sure that I talk about a few points here. Make sure you check that yellow and that green shield, like, because I am a scout. And we have a lot of content here on this app that we just want to go over just real quick, briefly, if you don't mind. What? Like, there's a lot of content, you guys. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, it's crazy out here. But I just want to again thank everybody for coming to the show and coming to check us out. Dub, hello, Tashay, how you doing, love? Like, welcome everybody to the stream. Again, this is what Food for Your Soul with Aquarian Soul. This is the only show here on Tag that focuses on exploring nostalgia through conversation about comfort food. And I'm so blessed to have you guys here with me today. Of course, our topic is going to be about comfort food, but we're going to get into these people's minds a little bit. We're going to find out a little bit more about their history as it comes to the idea of comfort food and just find out, like, we'll see if we get a little hungry in here. I tend to get hungry by the end of my show. I don't know about y'all, but whew. First and foremost, we gonna bring up my cousin KK.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome KK to the show. Just tell us a little bit more about you.
What's up, everybody? My name is KK. Like Aquarian said, I am taking a little break off the app. Life be lifing, but I'm coming back. When I come back, it's going to be full throttle. So be prepared.
I love that. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into this topic a little bit. Lena, I see you. Queen K, I see you. Like, let's get into the topic a little bit. So tell me, what does comfort mean to you when you hear the word comfort? What does that mean to you?
I feel like comfort to me is getting a hug. It brings you memories of, a certain time, place, or person that, just really brings you good memories. And you know I don't know, that's just how I feel. Like I think of comfort like a hug.
Love that. Comfort is a hug. Like, it definitely, a hug definitely gives me comfort. So I could definitely agree with that 100%. So let me ask you, when we talk about understanding that about comfort and then applying that to food, what would you say that your comfort food is? What is your go-to?
So my comfort food hands down is chicken and dumplings.
Okay, so I just want to be clear. We talking about some homemade chicken and dumplings, or are we getting
Of
that Campbell?
course.
Getting that Campbell's? Like, I just need to know.
No Campbell's. It has to be homemade. Has to be.
Okay. So why, in particular?
So like I said, going back to what I feel like comfort is like a hug. So my aunt, my great aunt, so she was like my grandfather's sister. She used to throw down in the kitchen and always make chicken and dumplings. And she's no longer with us, but every time, like, no matter, honestly, no matter how I eat it now, like, it just reminds me of her. Nothing's gonna ever compare to hers, but at the end of the day, like, I feel like when I eat chicken and dumplings, I think of her. I think of her love. I think of, the wisdom she always gave me, all the advice, like, her just being my aunt, like, just being that role model figure in my life. I always think of her, like, anytime, I eat it. So
Okay, I love that. That sounds really, really dope. So you said your great aunt, right?
yes.
Okay, nice. So when you think about when we get back into that idea of nostalgia, right, and we get back into we thinking about those simpler times, like, give me a unique memory that you might have that pertains to that dish.
Well, she actually taught me her recipe on how to make it. I remember I was young, like, I was like 10, 11 years old, and at the time, like, my mom, me, and my brother were all living with her. And I was always the one, in the kitchen being nosy. They all were, that, being that she's older, she was always very like, don't be in the kitchen unless you're helping. And I'm sticking my nose in and seeing what's going on. And then finally one day she was like, you know what, if you want to be nosy, then grab an apron, wash your hands, and let's get to cooking. And she taught me how to make them, and ever since then, that's just been my thing.
So from the moment that she taught you how to cook it, were you like really good at it, or did it take you a little while to kind of master your craft?
Trial and error, for sure. Trial and error. That's all I'm gonna say.
Is there anything in particular you can tell us about that particular recipe that makes it so unique?
Honestly, like she just took her time, like it wasn't like I literally felt like I don't like it was just different to me. Like it's just the chicken, how she made it, like, the dumplings, like you actually seen her like press out like the molding of it, and it's just she took her time with it, and it's not something that like you can really tell when somebody puts their heart and soul into something.
Right.
And that's something that, I'll always remember.
I like that. Thanks for sharing that. We definitely appreciate that. So let me ask you this. So we understand through nostalgia that chicken and dumplings for you gives you that sense of comfort from back then. Is there anything that you've acquired along the way that you would call a modern comfort food for you? That's something that's your go-to nowadays outside of chicken.
Well, because it kind of reminds me of chicken and dumplings, and it's like a very second, favorite to mine.
Okay.
I'd probably say chicken Alfredo. I
Okay.
can literally, like, I will never, ever get sick of that.
I love that. That sounds really good. Fupa, love that. That sounds amazing. So when we talk about chicken Alfredo, is there any particular place that you get it from? Any particular sort of recipe? Any certain way that you like to have it made? Um,
Um, One thing that I really like when it comes to chicken Alfredo is when the sauce is actually homemade. It's not like ragu from the little glass bottle. Um, I may get some, flack for this, but Olive Garden chicken Alfredo, that stuff right there, that's the stuff.
I love that. I love that. Again, I want to welcome everybody to Food for Your Soul with Aquarian Soul. Like this is the only show here on Tag that explores that looks to explore nostalgia through conversation about comfort food. And again, I definitely want to appreciate you all for being here with me today. In the box right now, we have KK, and we're talking about her comfort food that brings her the most nostalgia from her past is chicken and dumplings. And as of right now, for her personal collection, she loves anything Alfredo based. Like, does it? Hold on, let me make sure I go back to this. Does it matter what we put in it? Like, whether it's chicken, whether it's salmon? You have a
Mm-mm, it don't matter. It don't matter.
Is a noodle? Is there a noodle preference?
Fettuccine,
Fettuccine. Okay, I like me some
of course.
linguine. Linguine is not too bad. I ain't gonna hold. I know it's called fettuccine alfredo, so technically it's supposed to have fettuccine, but linguine is actually good. So, okay. So then, let me ask you this: have you ever went anywhere? Let's say, since we're talking about chicken dumplings, chicken alfredo being, or just alfredo being your favorites, right, from the past and present. Do you ever go anywhere and you get you some and you think to yourself like, oh no, this is not right, like
One place that I got chicken Alfredo from, and it like pissed me off when I ate it, was
okay,
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker
Oh
Barrel.
my
Okay.
gosh. Like it was just water and chicken and just ugh, like ugh.
Ooh, water and chicken is ridiculous. It has some seasoning, or what we doing?
If you want to call salt and pepper seasoning, then no.
That's really bad, actually. Okay.
No
I didn't
butter.
expect a response like that. Like no butter, CD. Oh my God, no, no. I'm just over here like this is not okay. Like, okay, have you ever had a bad dumpling experience? Like, have you ever had a bad chicken and dumpling experience? Like,
Cracker Barrel. Hands down, Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel,
really?
Cracker Barrel,
Oh
Cracker
my
Barrel.
God! Like, I guess they only good for
Like,
breakfast, huh?
oh, that's it. That's what it seems like. I mean,
I've never attempted to try anything other than like the pancakes for real. Like, honestly. Say they don't understand you eat vegan. Oh, okay, I got you. They doing too much with that. Like, okay.
mm-mm.
Okay. All right. So I guess the final question that I ask you here before we jump to our next guest, or I give a little few thoughts before we do that. So you said you have the recipe. Are you willing to share that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I eventually want to collect a little group of our recipes here.
I mean, it's a secret.
So I understand this is secret. I mean, like, I knew it was gonna take a few minutes for you to for me to try to talk you into letting me get that recipe about you. Like I just want to know.
Can I think about it?
Okay, yeah, we'll let you think about it. Like
What kind of pie do you have in the oven? What kind of pie do I have in the oven? If it's not apple, then I don't want it.
she said, "Oh, hold on now. Like I need an apple pie out here. Like
Exactly.
so."
Peach pie
We're doing
too.
like are we doing like some special kind of like apple crumb apple pie? Or we're doing like just a regular homemade apple pie.
The
It's a regular.
crumbs, duh. You have to
Oh,
have the brown sugar, all of that.
I
Like,
had to know. I didn't know if we could be friends or not. Like, because if you ain't want the crumbs on there, then I just need to move over, move to the side.
not having crumbs is diabolical.
All right, I appreciate you, KK. We'll bring you back here in a minute. Thank definitely thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, so once again, I just want to let you guys know that we are in my show. This is Food for Your Soul with Aquarian Soul, the only show here on Tag that focuses on exploring nostalgia through conversation about comfort food. And we just had KK up in the box. A few little recaps for her piece. She says that her greatest comfort food that brings her the most comfort from her past is chicken and dumplings. And that's in relation to a recipe that her great aunt had, and that she taught her how to make that. Also, she talks about her current day comfort food being anything Alfredo based. It doesn't really matter what protein is in there. She talked about a little bit the bad experiences we learned from her that apparently we shouldn't go to Cracker Barrel for anything other than breakfast. Outside of that, I guess they're not good for anything else. So yeah, again, I want to thank you all for being here, and I'm going to go ahead and break up our second guest. She just said that. She just was talking about apple pie. Interesting. And we have Miss Divine. Yeah, I get to do this to you now. I get to do this to you now. Ah, Miss Divine. Great.
Hey,
How are you doing today, man?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Gives you plantation. Ooh, I can understand that. Like, Harley. Okay, so go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know who you are.
I'm Miss Divine. I've been here for forever, but I do have a featured show on the app, and it has been here for about a year and a half. On my show, we talk about being well through the 8 dimensions of wellness. So yeah, that's what I do. It's a cool show. Pull up on me Saturdays at 11 a.m.
I heard through the grapevine that you was like a an executive chef champ. Like I
Come
heard through the
on now.
grapevine.
You know it. You know what? There was a feature show here on the app called Executive Chef Wars. I am the two-time champ of Executive Chef Wars. I like to do a little something in the kitchen. I like to, let me make sure my stuff is off. Hold on. Hold on just 1 second. Sorry, Aquarian.
Okay, no, you fine. You fine. Nah, we don't we don't want you to lose. Don't burn the food, Miss Divine. Definitely don't. Yeah.
It was smelling too good up in here. I was like, wait, let me make sure that this, I had the skillet turned down, but I wanted to make sure, let me turn it off or turn it down. There we go. I'm back. I'm cooking, y'all. I'm cooking.
Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, so Miss Divine, let's go ahead and get into it. So what does comfort mean for you? What does it mean to you when you hear comfort?
Comfort like brings you back to that home place, that inner being like, okay, you've been talking about nostalgia, and I will say my favorite song for the summertime is definitely Summertime by Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. But that one line when he says how the smells from the grill can spark up nostalgia, that's what comfort food is to me. Like, it's just like, oh man, that just took me to a place that I just remembered, like that's what that comfort food does.
I love that. Okay, okay. So yeah, that homey feeling. That's absolutely what nostalgia is supposed to be about, 100%. So with that being stated, let me ask you this: like, so what is your go-to comfort food? When you correlate comfort with food, like what we going to? What we going to get?
Look, I can be almost simple. It's crazy. But I mean, I was going to say like mac and cheese, but it's crazy. What really is good to me? Some good homemade mashed potatoes and gravy. Some good homemade mashed potatoes and gravy. That's like, look, I can eat potatoes and gravy by itself. I don't need no meat. You might throw some green beans in there sometimes, but some mac. She said she can. Coco Fairy, no, I can eat a mashed potato, but woo, yes, give me some mashed potatoes.
Interesting. So, okay, so when we talk about mashed potatoes, like, are you a skin kind of person, or do you want the skin completely out of it?
Look, just make them homemade. I like a little skin. It don't have to be with skin. I like red skin. I like yellow skin. I like russet skin. Not too much on the russet because it's a little thicker. But if you bake the potato first, that russet skin, it thins out a little bit. But mash a baked potato and make mashed potatoes out of baked potatoes. Oh my goodness. That's
Good.
that's
You should
that's
know
home right there.
Okay, so what would you say would be the most unique memory that you've had in relation to mashed potatoes? Just anything that just comes to your mind when you're thinking about just memories, whether it's with somebody, somewhere that you were, whatever it may be.
Well, it was always a thing like Sunday dinner for me when I was a little kid. My mom would ask what I wanted for dinner, and I would always say roast, mashed potatoes, and gravy with some corn. Those, those they usually have them in during the holidays, but they have like that the bread that comes in the package, those rolls that comes in the cardboard situation. You can find them on the shelf, those little rolls right there, the brown and serve rolls. I always wanted that. Like, and that was my favorite meal for a long, long time. Long, long time. I don't know why I didn't make that today, but I didn't. No, I did some other things. But yes, that is what comfort and like my favorite. It there was no real like memory saying, oh, I want the like this happened. It was what I wanted all the time. Like some roast beef, mashed potatoes, and gravy, corn, and the brown and serve rolls.
I used to love, especially like you get the roast beef fresh out the crock pot.
Yes.
Like when those were a thing, I don't even know if people still use those anymore, but
Yes.
like I still use mine. Like when you just did a slow cook in there, like pretty much all day. Like I remember, like you just made a memory pop in my head. I used to go to school, mom be cooking it. It'll slow cook the entire day. By the time you get home, it's just so tender and
Yes.
uh, carrots and all the different vegetables cut up in there. Absolutely,
So good.
absolutely. So let me ask you: do you have you ever been anywhere, whether it be a person's house, a cookout, or even just out of town, like where you went to get some mashed potatoes, and you had this idea in your head of what you like and how it usually tastes, and you were just like so disappointed about
Yeah,
what
that
you got?
happened to me recently. That happened to me recently. There's this bar and grill that I like to go to. They have really decent tacos on Taco Tuesday, but I didn't go on Tuesday. I went on a different day, and the special was roast beef. It was pot roast.
Oh,
It didn't have gravy. It had au jus. So that was the messed up part right there already. I'm like, and the au jus was like water. When Arby's au jus was better than this place, they was not on it at all. Yeah, the roast beef was like they boiled it in water. There was no seasoning to it. I was just not happy. I ate it because I didn't feel like going and telling them it wasn't good, and it wasn't very expensive, but it almost threw me off to ever go to them again. I'm like, how you gonna have this as your special? No, it wasn't a Mexican. It was a bar. My daughter, how about did I get it from the Mexicans? It was not a Mexican spot. I'm just saying a bar and grill.
that was the
a,
concern. Like, yes. Oh, you
a
went to a
bar and grill
Mexican
that I
for
usually
Mexican?
get tacos from.
Like, yo, hold on. Like, that's why certain places I can't go for certain foods. It's like, nah, I'm good. You want me to get what from where? A burger from Taco
Right,
Bell? I'm good. Nah,
right.
no, thank you.
That was like
So
when Burger King used to have those tacos back in the day. You remember that?
I don't because I never got them.
Burger King used to have
I would
tacos.
have never got a taco from a Burger King. Like, if it's in your name, Burger King. That I need the burgers, not the tacos. They was tiny. Drea says she remember 'em. Okay, so boom. So we talk about mashed potatoes being that thing that brings you nostalgically back to your past, your upbringing and things of that nature. So as you've become older, over time now. What would you say, like, if we remove mashed potatoes out of the equation and we're thinking about more nowadays? What's your modern day comfort? What do you go to now?
It's like I like trying different cuisines now. Like it's not like that standard soul food meal for me. I'm a taco connoisseur. I can eat tacos every single day. But I love to make curries. I love to make curries.
Mhm.
And like when I take my time and really want to cook, which hasn't been here lately, I make this butter chicken.
I've heard
Yes,
about that.
yes. I make this butter chicken. So like I said, I like trying different cuisines, but it's with a ginger and turmeric. There's a certain spice that you get from the Indian stores. You can get it other places. But I have a local like Indian store that I get my spices from for this dish called garam masala, also using some cinnamon. So can you imagine cinnamon, turmeric, ginger, marinated in Greek yogurt, cooked in ghee with onions? Oh gosh. Like you cook the I take the ghee. I know you're not asking for the recipe just yet, but I'm
No,
sharing
you're
because you
good.
done got
Go,
me thinking about what this is all about.
you're
I
good.
take
Go
the
ahead, talk
ghee
about it.
I take the ghee, slice up the onions, cook the onions down in the ghee so the butter can have a different flavor. And then put the marinated chicken inside of the butter. So that's what the butter is all about. Like, not like it's buttered chicken, but you cook it in butter. And I always use ghee. It's not like cooking with regular butter. I don't know how to explain what ghee is, but you find it on the shelf, not in the refrigerated section. But
It's a
yeah,
type of butter, you said?
huh?
It's a type of like marinade or butter,
It's
you said?
butter. It's butter. It's like a clarified butter, but you just buy it in the baking section, and it's called ghee. Ghee. Ghee.
I'm about to look into it.
Yeah.
You made you when you was over here talking about all this different the different Indian seasonings. It made me think about when I made chicken tikka masala before, and
Hmm.
like how some of their seasons are just so it will choke you up, like 'cause it's just
Yes.
so like the smell of
Yes.
it so pungent.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Like, all right, so let me see. Welcome everybody and thank you everybody for being here. It's a Food for Your Soul with Aquarian Soul. This is the only show here on Tag that focuses on discovering nostalgia through conversation about comfort food. Like, we have Miss Divine in the box, one of my longtime friends, one of my favorite people. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's talking about her comfort food right now and what things mean to her. So I guess before I let you out of the box, well, before I bring KK up and then we continue with the second part of our conversation, um, let me ask you this personally. So I know that you work through the eight dimensions of wellness, right? So when we think about comfort food and the relevance of comfort food, like where would you think that would land on our scale? Do you think it would touch a few different of these dimensions, or do you think it just,
Hmm. It definitely puts you in that social emotional. Those are two different, but social and emotional, um, and they connect a lot. Social and emotional do because you can when you're enjoying the me, I love cooking for people. It's hard for me to cook right now because I'm cooking all this food and there's going to be nobody to eat it. My not so little girl isn't home, so she can't share the food with me. I got all this food that I'm cooking, and I'm trying to keep the heart in it when I cook, even though it's just about presentation and making sure that it looks good today. I don't have anybody to share it with, So that social connection with food is just like, wow, I get to cook, I get to love on you, and that in turns makes me emotionally well because I'm just like, food is my love language. They say other love languages, physical touch and all this other kind of stuff, words of affirmation. Mine is let me cook for you.
Woo. She said, forget everything else. Just let me make this meal for you. Like you gonna understand how I feel.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. All right. So, KK, go ahead and request the box again. We'll go ahead and bring you back up as well. So, let me feed you, babe. And again, welcome to Food for Your Soul with Aquarian Soul. This is the only show here on TAG focusing on discovering nostalgia through conversation about comfort food. I have my beautiful and amazing guest. We have my cousin KK, and we got Miss Deevyne, the one and only herself, my favorite sunflower. So, okay, let's go ahead and jump back into our conversation for the rest of this time. Okay, so this portion I'll just ask a question and both of you share your perspectives on how you feel about what I'm asking. Comfort food fits into today's society? Do you think that it helps to fix things, to make things a little bit better? Do you think that it's missing from the fabric of what it means to have a family these days? A lot of people are just missing it.
I'm sorry, Aquarian, you were lagging just a little bit at the beginning, and I didn't quite get the entire statement.
I'm sorry. I hope sorry. Hopefully, Tag doesn't start messing me up because it's been good. It's been good so far. Like it be playing me. Like I be struggling. So the question was, how do you feel that comfort food fits into today's society? Do you feel like that is something that it helps to bring people together and make things more peaceful, or do you think that it's something that a lot of people are probably missing from their lives or just from their structure of their family? Either one can answer.
Well, I feel like we are so accustomed to going out to eat now. I don't know, like the things of come hang out with me and I'll cook a good meal for you. I don't see that. I'm not invited to places like that. I don't know it at all. It's always, oh, meet me at the spot, So to state, like when we were talking about that social emotional type of thing, I don't really see that because emotional connection isn't really connected to food.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like I feel like us as humans we became more accustomed to the quicker way out of things. And I feel like, a lot of us want to go to like the restaurant because they cook it for us. Like we don't have to take that time in the kitchen and they'll be like, oh well, I don't want to like, sweat and blah 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 blah. They just want to go sit down to a restaurant and have it done for them. So I feel like, it's definitely missing. Like it's not the same as it was before.
Hmm.
So, on a personal level, what do you all feel like comfort food has attributed to your lives personally? Do you feel like it's kept you leveled in some areas? Do you feel like it's kind of like reminds you at times that you're only human? Like, how do you feel?
So I feel like with my comfort food, it just kind of it grounds me. Like basically, it takes me back home. It shows me like where I grew up. You know, my morals, my values, like me as a human being. Like just basically what I've been taught growing up. And I feel like that's something that I can always like hold on to because like I said, like it reminds me of my aunt. And my aunt did teach me a lot of stuff. And that's something I can always like carry with me from my day-to-day life and, apply it to certain situations.
Yeah. Like I was saying before, it's my love language to be able to cook for people, to be able to be in the kitchen and throw some spices together and see what I can create next. My spice cabinet is bigger than my dish cabinet. So yeah. Yeah. Like my dishes fit in the little one. My spices are in the really big one. So I love spices. I love seasonings. I love trying different things. Yeah. I only need 4 plates. I don't need nothing else. Ain't nobody coming. Just said that ain't nobody coming over here. And if they did, we gonna go get paper plates.
When you think about comfort, right? So my show in particular speaks of comfort foods. Do you guys have anything other outside of food that brings you the most comfort that you just wanted to share?
For me, it's music. Music's always been a big part of my life. Like my dad was very musically inclined, and just me like just the types of music that you could listen to for different situations. Like that's just something that always brings me comfort.
You know what really makes me smile? And y'all gonna say that I'm silly. Or maybe not. I don't know. what really makes me smile is being here with you all. That I can tap tag and I can see Aquarian, I can see Sassy Red, I can see CD. I can be sitting in the same house with my daughter and I'll just go to her live and say, hey girl, and she's like, and I'll go back and I'll say, see you later, you know. So those kind of things, just being able, I'm an extreme people person. So being where people are and being able to be where people are in a setting like this is what gives me comfort, what makes me smile.
Being with us
Yeah.
brings her. I love that. Which makes me want to make sure that I remind you all that you are checking out Food for Your Soul with Aquarian Soul. This is the only show here on Tech that it focuses on exploring nostalgia through conversation about comfort food. Please thank you and say salutations to our guests here, Miss Deevyne and KK. We're having a beautiful conversation right now about comfort food. So, all right, so let's get back into the main juice, right? So, comfort food. We've talked about the past. We've talked about your present. So let's talk more about what you may be leaving behind. And we can start with either one of you, as you please. So you know what brought you to the dance. You know what brings you back to what you used to have. You know what you're comfortable with now. Like, is there anything in particular that you feel like you're gonna leave behind for your next generations? Like a special recipe, a certain type of food, or whatever it may be that you picked up along the way. Or it could even be your old nostalgia food reinvented, whatever it may be.
I I want
Easy.
I want to be able to leave things. I don't create recipes, and sometimes I think that I should. So I went to go visit my cousins for, I guess it was around the 4th of July this year. And they were like, oh, we want Mexican, we want Mexican. And in this Mexican food, I made like taco egg rolls, you know, and they were like, what the heck is this? I was like, I know, right? But it was just so cool to make new things and just have fun with food, just do different stuff. And at first I wasn't going to make the egg rolls. I was feeling like, oh, this would be cool. I could make egg rolls. And I didn't feel like rolling the egg rolls. And my brother was like, I'll roll them. I was like, cool. Here's the ingredients. Here's what we're doing. He rolled them. I fried them. We had egg rolls.
So
Sounds
what?
good.
Just before we go past this, I'm a big boy. You know what I'm saying? We having a big back moment right now. Like, so what was in this egg roll exactly? Like a big back moment right now.
It was so cool. I'll let KK talk about her stuff, and then I might throw the recipe out there for you. That's my thing. That's my thing.
Ooh, let's
A lot of
go.
times people that are cooks want to keep secrets, and I'm like, I have no secret to tell because I want you to enjoy this just as much as I did.
Cause that sounds really. I just my stomach
My
started
mouth started
rumbling.
watering low key.
I ain't gonna hold you like
I'm like,
a taco.
Yes.
right.
It's good.
Mm.
Like
It was really good.
I would probably leave the recipe behind, but at the same time, like, you know, nowadays in time, like things change, there's little enhancements that can be made and things like that. And, if I'm fortunate enough to, birth kids into this world, I'll, give them that recipe and allow them to put their little creativity in it and, enhance it to make it their comfort food in a way.
comfort food. Like we understand what it means to us, what it has meant to us. And so getting back into the societal aspect of it, like, do you believe that comfort food is something that may end up going away? Because we were having this conversation already, and you guys both were talking about a lot of people eating out nowadays, not really cooking at home and things of that nature. Like, do you feel like this is something that's going to one day become extinct? People having something of that nature, or do you think it's going to stop being homemade and be more so like the restaurant is now the comfort food?
I would definitely say it's gonna be extinct one day because, like I said, like I feel like us as humans, we're more inclined to take the lazy way out of things, and the U.S. we're there's a lot of big backs roaming around. Like one day, I can see somebody in the future talking about how a Big Mac is their comfort food in the near future because that's just we're inclined to want to go through the drive-through versus go home and spend like 45 minutes to an hour to take, to take the time to cook something.
Yeah.
Because I honestly was saying that I honestly heard big back from you. I was like, dang, there's a lot of big backs, you know? And so I was thinking that you were saying that we're going to find all these big backs. And then I heard Big Mac, and I was like, wait. Oh,
Oh
gosh.
man, like, oh, let's not confuse the
Oh,
back with
yeah.
the Mac. The back and the Mac are two different things. Two different things. Oh my goodness.
Oh, gosh.
So once again, I want to welcome everybody to my show here, Food for Your Soul with Aquarian Soul. This is the only show here on the Tag app that focuses on discovering nostalgia through conversations about comfort food. Again, I have my guest here, Miss Deevyne, and my cousin KK. And we're having an amazing conversation right now, and we're just trying to get into a little bit more deeper into this here. So, okay, do we believe that? So, if we're going with this notion of comfort food being something that may end up going away one day, right? Appreciate your CD, absolutely, King. Do we think that it's going to be a societal thing? Is it a societal issue, like a lot of issues within society that are breaking down? People not growing up with families, maybe growing up in foster homes, not cooking, things of these nature, these things that happen in society that's causing an issue, or do we believe that it's just something that people just really just in particular just don't value anymore? It may not necessarily be a societal thing; it's just something they just don't care about it.
I hope that in my legacy, what I leave behind for people that know me, love me, there is something that talks about food in that too. I believe that there is comfort in food, so much so that even when my mom passed away and we did her obituary, I put a handwritten recipe that she had written in her obituary. And people were like, you don't want to share that? You don't want to give that to everybody? I was like, I do, because I'm not a baker. So if you are, you go ahead and you take this recipe too, you know? So I hope that in what I leave, sorry, I hope that in what I leave, it can be just as strong. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. I just I feel like food is beyond the social constructs. It's home, it's love, it's everything.
That is such a beautiful gesture. Because me, I would have took that recipe and started cooking that night. But like, hold on, let's get it popping. Like what?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
some people take their recipes to the grave and never share them. They don't pass those down at all, so their recipes get lost. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Hold on. Okay. I wouldn't say it's not really like people not caring, because at the end of the day, like, I feel like it's more so like, I don't know, I'm kind of like on the fence about it. Because, like I said before, like, I wouldn't say it's people not caring. Like, people can go in the kitchen and make that comfort food, but it's just like, I don't like I'm kind of on the fence about it. Like I said, it's easier for people to go through the drive-through and like, pick up whatever versus go in the kitchen, and then again, like, people may not have like the resources to make that comfort food. You know what I mean? Like, it can be like their living situation or anything like that. Like, it's there's a wide variety of factors. But I wouldn't say it's not necessarily people not caring, because at the end of the day, like, if I can go into the kitchen every single day and make chicken and dumplings, I would. But it's not that I don't care. It's just, everybody has different circumstances.
Absolutely. So once again, I want to welcome everybody to Food for Your Soul with Aquarian Soul. This is the only show here on the Tag app. Focuses on exploring nostalgia through conversation about comfort food. And if you're just making it here, you're a little late, but I just love the fact that you're here, period at all. Like, we trying to make sure Tag does not tag on it because I saw myself. We just gonna get it together. So CD said focus, so I'm gonna focus. All right, so here in conclusion, as we get towards the end of the show here, I want to ask you guys this question here. So is there anything? So we talk about comfort food. Let's flip to the other side real quick. Is there anything that you absolutely avoid at all costs? It is not a comforter to you. It does not bring you nostalgia. It is not happy. Is there anything that you just like run from when you hear the name of it, and why?
Organs. Any organ Don't give me a liver, a gizzard, a chitlin, kidney. I don't want nobody's organs. Keep the organs over there. No organs. I don't want no organs.
Fried chitlins is crazy.
No organs.
Oh God, do you have any history with like maybe somebody fed you something you didn't know what it was?
Look,
Or
I'm already an extreme texture person. I remember being young and my mom trying to feed me chitlins and it didn't feel right on my tongue. Nope, I can't. It's not going down. I'm not doing that. Liver, I can't stand the smell of it. All organs just got. No, I'm not doing organs. Don't give me a chicken liver. Don't give me a turkey liver. Don't give me a cow liver. I don't want organs. I don't want the organs. They don't smell good. I don't want any organs.
Ew.
oh goodness, okay, so all organs, livers, gizzards, kizzards, the chitlins, all of that. Okay, and I agree with you on that. I'm gonna just throw in sauerkraut with that and
Ew.
olives, and we're just gonna be good. We're gonna be happy. We just stay away from those. KK, how about you? Beef cow tongue? Wow.
Oh, cow tongue is disgusting. Oh my gosh.
I would imagine that's chewy. It sounds really chewy.
Oh,
No, I don't want that.
I just got goosebumps. Well, I may get, I don't know, I might get fined for this, but Brussels sprouts. Oh,
You can keep them.
no ma'am. No ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am.
It
Like
gets such a bad rep.
the smell of them, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah, you can keep them. I don't want it.
So have you ever had any bad experiences with Brussels sprouts, Kay?
so one time my grandma tried to trick me into, well, okay, she didn't try to trick me into eating them. She did like this very funny joke when I was a kid around Christmas time. So my mom and my grandma played a joke on me when I was like about like 13. They took like a Brussels sprout bag and it was empty. It was clean. It was cleaned out. Like it was empty. I hate Brussels sprouts so much and they knew this. So for my Christmas gift, they got me an iPhone around that time. So they put the iPhone in a Brussels sprout bag and put like the packing peanuts to make it feel like, there was Brussels sprouts in them. And they wrapped it up and gave it to me for Christmas.
Wow, is that a naughty or a nice gift? I don't know. Like,
I don't know. Take it how you want.
so what? So hold on, finish this out. So what happened? Okay, so boom, you get the bag, and what happened?
So like they put a lot of packing peanuts in it to where I didn't feel like the actual iPhone box. So it just felt like a big old bag of like Brussels sprouts. And I literally just started crying because I like when I tell you I hate Brussels sprouts, like the taste, the smell, like I can't. So I was literally sitting there crying and I'm like, my grandma and my mom are standing there laughing. And I'm like, why did you guys get me Brussels sprouts for Christmas? And they kept on telling me, they're like, open it, open it. I'm like, no, no, no. Like I'm arguing back and forth with them. So finally I was like, okay, fine, I'll open it. And it was the iPhone. And I was like looking at them, I'm like, how did you guys put an iPhone in the little bag? So they took like a flat iron and sealed it.
That's crazy. Hey.
It was sick.
All
Yeah,
right.
it was sick.
All right. So I got one more question, and I actually like this question that I asked last week, so I'm gonna ask it again this week. So is there? Okay. So we talked about your comfort food. We talked about what y'all don't like. Is there anything that you've seen someone else eat that has just made you be like, oh my God, no? I think Harley talked about people eating pickles and mustard or something like that last week, and I think it kind of like it triggered me. I think I've been traumatized by that.
My grandpa used to eat pickles and peanut butter sandwiches. And then like he would sometimes put mayonnaise in it. Yeah.
And that's Hellman, right? Yeah, that name.
See, I can do weird combinations. Like my favorite go-to snack is a grilled cheese sandwich with grape jelly. And a lot of people are like, what? What is that? So I can do some weird things. Some things that just turn me off are things that I just can't eat. I don't want to see nobody smack it on no banana. Oh, that's disgusting.
Why are you smacking on a banana? Hold on, like.
Oh, I can't stand when people chew bananas. Like,
Oh god.
I can't do that. I can't stand ramen noodles. Ooh. And when people slurp on ramen noodles.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my God. Yo. Hey, that's a fact. I think I said this last week too. Like the thing that icks me out the most is when I watch. So I don't like sauerkraut.
yeah.
I don't like chitlins. I hate olives. Even the smell of olives. If it's on your breath, it's gonna make me. I might throw up. But when I watch people do stuff like eat eggs and bacon and put ketchup on eggs and bacon, like it just kind of throws me off, and I'm just like, I don't understand.
I love
Like,
ketchup on my eggs.
huh?
I love ketchup on my
Me
eggs.
too.
Almost okay. Anyway, so this has been Aquarian. This has been Food for Your Soul with Aquarian Soul. Like this is the only show here on Tag. Like whoa, both my guests just went. This just went. It got really hostile. This is the only show here on Tag that focuses on exploring nostalgia through conversation about comfort food. Like, and the younger ladies, go ahead and let us know what y'all nasty catch up eating themselves. What y'all who y'all are again.
Mr. Bud, you want to go first?
Sure. I'm Miss Divine. You can catch me every Saturday for my featured show, Divine Living, where
This
we
guy,
talk
this guy
about
really
being
hopped
well.
out for me. This guy really hopped out for me.
My show is at 11 a.m. on Saturday, so catch me there. Yeah, we have a good time. Sometimes we might cry, sometimes we won't. Most of the time, we're not crying here lately. So come get some words to help heal your soul. Heal your soul. You can catch me tonight cooking up some stuff. I got a soul food dinner for your soul. Catch me in my stream. I'll be live pretty soon. And I'm closing out this auction, y'all. So y'all come check me out. I'm closing out the auction. My time is about 9:30, something like that. Come check me out and see what I'm cooking tonight. I am a two-time chef of the former featured show Executive Chef Wars. So I like to get down in the kitchen. I know I was all loud and stuff, but come check out this meal.
Let's go.
Okay, well, what's up, everybody? It's KMFK. I'm not streaming right now, but like I said, I'm coming back sooner than later. And when I come back, I'm coming back full force.
Let's go, KK. All right. I made it the whole hour. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, we're out of show mode. I made it the whole fucking hour.